Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Literature in Robes with Jared. It's time to do some more book reviews, guys. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be focusing on a brand new book that came out in January of 2025. It is a new release by the great Fonda Lee, one of my favorite authors, and she's partnering up with the great Shannon Lee, who is the daughter of Bruce Lee, and she is also the head or the CEO of the Bruce Lee Foundation, which means she's actively seeking to promote Bruce Lee's martial arts, his life philosophy, the peaceful nature of what it means to engage in martial arts. It's not just about fighting, it's more of a inner search, more of a philosophy of life.
You can call it the art of fighting without fighting.
I know in Western cultures we tend to make martial arts about the fights and things like that, when truly it's about inner strength and inner peace. And very much so I'm things are addressed in the book Breath of the Dragon. Now, since this book came out, it's kind of a new duo. Typically Fonda is probably writing her own stuff, and I'm not sure if Shannon Lee has other things. I think she does. If there are any titles or written things that she has done, I'll post that up here, but I believe she is really kind of the keeper of Lee philosophy, which is an amazing thing to keep alive, and we do need stuff like that in our society. It's really awesome stuff. It makes me curious to get into Shannon Lee's writings or what she does a little bit more as far as the Bruce Lee Foundation is concerned. Maybe worthwhile donating to or investing in.
What was that? An exhibition? We need emotional content.
Breath of the Dragon is a new fantasy story set in an Eastern ancient kind of setting. Somewhat. There's always sort of a modern tinge. Fonda Lee feels very comfortable in a world with martial arts and Eastern philosophy, but she wrangles the Western philosophy too really well. The writing in this book is very layered. It seems like a lot of stuff on the surface could be just taken as is, but Fonda Lee, and I'm assuming Shannon Lee, knowing what she knows about her father's legacy, there's a lot more underneath the surface. The philosophy of Bruce Lee is very soul-searching. It's very introspective.
Because the word I does not exist.
So I'll give you a quick synopsis provided in the book, just to kind of give you an idea of what to expect. 16-year-old June dreams of proving his worth as a warrior in the Elite Guardians tournament, held every 6 years to entrust the magical scroll of heaven to a new protector. Eager to prove his skills, June hopes that a win will restore his father's pride, righting a horrible mistake that caused their banishment from his home, mother, and twin brother. But June's father strictly forbids him from participating. He believes there is no future in June honing his skills as a warrior, especially considering June is not breath-marked, born with a patch of dragon scales and blessed with special abilities like his twin. Determined to be the next guardian, June stows away in the wagon of Chang and his daughter Ren, performers on their way to the capital where the tournament will take place. As June competes, he quickly realizes he may be fighting for not just a better life, but the fate of the country itself and the very survival of everyone he cares about. Now that is pretty interesting, I think. Yes, it is the story of June. I believe this is that character. He's one of those protagonists that has a lot to prove to everyone because this breath-marked dragon skill, and it's a unique skill of sorts, and you never know who has what, but it's something that is highly sought after in this world.
Lucky.
The story offers a political undertone, East versus West thinking, which can be kind of delineated as you would in society today. The philosophies of both are very different. The two characters that he steals away with become a mentor and like a sister or something, but they challenge each other. The character work of Fonda Lee is really what pushes her above the average cut, in my opinion. She really creates conflicts within the characters, between the characters, and she really fleshes out solid character traits and character desires, and June is this driven character. It's a story where you think the high's going to be obviously high and then it goes low, and then there's something that challenges them, and just the push and pull between all of this, and to try to stay true to himself and what he's been taught and what he believes in. And there's part of this twin that he has that he's been seeking in this first book. It really doesn't answer all the questions. So it makes me wonder if there is a second book. I read this book pretty quickly. I enjoy Fonda Lee's writing so much. It's just like drinking water. It's just breathing air. It's amazing how easily you can just get pulled right into her writing.
Thanks. I needed that.
And I wonder how much Shannon Lee actually had as a contributor in this as well. So the plot was great. You feel like it was all coming towards this big fight, but that's actually only the midpoint of the book. And then it continues on, and all this political intrigue, interesting plot work. Of course, the characters were amazing. And if you like Bruce Lee movies or karate movies or anything like that, this is an amazing read because Fonda Lee is a black belt martial artist. And so she knows some of these moves and she describes it phenomenally. So if you want to read about actual martial arts interplay and action, this book is definitely there. It's also in the Bone Saga. I know I've talked about Fonda Lee's Bone Saga and her various little short stories around that, but she is a very prolific and awesome action writer, and I can't praise Fonda Lee enough. And Shannon Lee, you two guys have really made a really cool, interesting Eastern martial arts fantasy story. And Bruce Lee bleeds through the pages all over the place. If you've ever watched any interviews about him and his philosophy on life, it comes through, and it's very clear. I'm sure that Fonda and Shannon are hopefully very proud of this because I enjoyed it so much. I think Breath of the Dragon gets a definite 5 out of 5 robes. I recommend it to anyone who's interested in something a little different. I mean, it's not heavily fantasy. It's kind of rooted in reality, but it also has just these excellent little quirks about it that make the fantasy element of it so interesting. And it's not so universal or blanket fantasy everything. She just finds these really intricate and cool ways to embellish on magic systems that aren't annoying and they aren't overly complicated or overly contrived or anything like that. So it just makes sense whenever I read Fonda Lee's fantasy stuff. It's just so good. Yeah. I mean, kudos to the pair, Fonda Lee, Shannon Lee. You guys have done something amazing. I hope there's a book too. I haven't really heard anything right now, but this book to me is amazing. I want to find out about so much without spoiling. There's a lot of questions I have, and I'm excited. And I hope that you guys are planning on doing something. Maybe make it into a trilogy or something. This could be a really cool story. And again, fans of Fonda Lee, you won't pick this up and be like, "Yeah, it's all right." I feel like you're gonna just love it. You're going to love it, just like all of her other stuff if you're fans of hers. So thank you guys all for tuning in today. I appreciate it. Let me know what you think if you've read this book. Leave any comments down in the spots below. And if you like the channel, like the reviews, and if you like the things that come out of my face and my mouth and that comes out at you there, like and subscribe. And with that, I guess it's only one more thing to say, and that's keep reading. And Bruce Lee bleed. That's a mouthful. Bruce Lee bleeds through the pages